In my last video, I showed you how to stitch out a cute little shaker tag on my Smart Stitch 12 needle embroidery machine. Now, even though I used a multi-needle machine, these can be made on a single needle machine as well. In that video, I went through each of the stitches used, showed how to add the glitter, the backing, and the top clear vinyl. Basically, I showed the entire stitch out process. In today's video, I'm going to show you how I made the design in Embrilliance so that you can design your own custom shaker tags too. Now, if you haven't seen that other video, it does give you a lot of context for this video, so you might want to watch it first or at least go watch it after this. So this is Embrilliance software, and I have Embrilliance Essentials as well as Stitch Artist 1 through 3. But you can make a design like what I'm going to show you in Stitch Artist 1. Also, I'm going to design this as if I'm simply hooping my stabilizer and nothing else. Okay, so we're going to build this from the bottom up, layer by layer. And we're going to start with putting a placement stitch on the stabilizer so I know where to put my faux leather. Now this tag is just going to be a round tag, but you could use whatever shape you want. I want to keep this video simple just so we learn the steps right now. So let's make a circle. We're going to click right here on Create Designs. We're going to click on the circle. If you don't see the circle there, just click right here and you can select it here. Now on my keyboard to make this circle, I'm going to hold the Shift key down. What that does is it makes it where it's a perfect circle versus an oval that you have to fix. So hold down the Shift and then I'll just drag it to a circle. Now when I let go of it, I can see the size right here. And I think I want to make this a little larger. I want to keep it 4x4 friendly, but I like to have it around 3 3/4 inches. And that looks good. So let's put that in the center of the hoop. We'll go right up here to Utility, and we'll say Center in Hoop. Now this is currently just a circle. There's no stitches assigned to that. So let's go up here and put some on it. We're going to do a run stitch. And I want to use a basic run stitch, just a single run stitch. This is a decorative stitch we're going to use later, but for your position stitch and your tack down stitch, all you need is a single run stitch. So this would stitch out, then you know that's where you put your faux leather or whatever background fabric you're using. Next, we want to sew our faux leather to our stabilizer. So we're going to use what's called a tack down stitch. It's going to follow this exact same path. So all I need to do, since this is still selected, is hit Command-C for copy, Command-V for paste, and I have another one. Now when you copy this second one, you can't really tell that it's over here on the screen. But if you look over on the right side, you can see there's a second one there. Now that second one was the same color as the first one. I want to change the second one a different color so that I know my machine will stop there. I like to have different colors in the design so that my machine's going to stop and I can think about what I want to do. So with this circle selected, I'm going to go down to Color, click on it, and then I'm going to go over here and pick a different color. Let's just go with this Caribbean blue. So now we have a position stitch that shows us where to put our leather, and then the tack down stitch, which stitches that faux leather to the stabilizer. Now it's time to make whatever cute design we want in the middle. Now for this video, I want to keep it very plain, very simple, because I just want to teach the steps right now. So for the inside of mine, I'm going to use my initial. So I'll go up here to the lettering tool icon. We're going to click on that. Then I can look right over here and I can see what text is in there. Right now, it always defaults just to ABC. And I have it on this Stitchtopia Georgia Peach. I want something kind of bold. Let's see what this pretty things would look like in the letter M. So I'll click on it, and then I'll back over this, and I'll just type a capital M and hit Enter. And I don't think I like that. Let's go back up to that Georgia Peach. Now I don't remember what size. Was it 1 1/4? No, let's go larger than that. Let's do 1 1/2. Also, in Embrilliance, I can drag this and make it a little larger, and what will happen is these stitches will become more. So it adds stitches so that you still have the density you need. So right now there's 2,145 stitches. If I drag it to make it larger, when I let go of it, that stitch count changes. Let's make it a little taller as well. And then we're going to put that M back in the center of the hoop. Now with it just being an M, I want to have a cute decorative stitch around it. If you're putting an entire name, you might not want to add another decorative stitch, but I want to go ahead and put a stitch around it that I'm going to turn into what's called a chain stitch. So I could either copy and paste one of these run stitches, or I could go up and I could create another circle. Now what I think I want to do first is go up here to Create, Design, and say Begin New Design. So that's number 3. There's nothing in it yet. Then let's go up to this run stitch. Let's hit Command C for copy, Command V for paste, and good. It pasted it down in that number 3 position. So let's click on this run stitch, and that's what I want to change to a chain stitch. Now notice it's too large. It is on top of those other ones. So we're going to drag it until it's about the size that we want it. And I'm just going to do that by sight. I don't have a preconceived notion on how large I want it. I want it to be somewhat close to the M, but not super close to the M. And I need it to be far enough away from this outside stitch when we get to the final outside stitch, and that's going to be a satin stitch. I don't want the chain stitch and the satin stitch to hug each other. We can always adjust it again if we need to. So let's go ahead and put that in the center. So at this time, after these stitch out, I would remove the hoop. I'd put another piece of faux leather on the back of the hoop and I'd tape it down. And I'm doing that because I want the back of my shaker tag to be finished off really nicely. Then I would put some glitter in the middle of the top. Then I would put my clear vinyl over the top and I would tape it down. Then it's time to sew all those things together with another tack down stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and say Create, Design, and Begin New Design. And it's right here for step number 4. Now this tack down stitch is going to be right on top of these outside stitches up here. So let's go ahead and select this first one and let's copy it. Command C for copy, Command V for paste. And you can see over here it's gray here. It's exactly what I want. So let's see this stitch out. We have our position stitch for our faux leather, our tack down stitch for the faux leather, our cute design for the inside. We take it off the machine, we add our faux leather to the back, our glitter in the center of the front, and then our clear vinyl on front. We put it back on the machine, and this stitch is sewing it all together. Once you've sewn it all together, you're going to take your hoop off the machine again. You're going to cut away the excess faux leather on the bottom, the excess faux leather on the top, and the excess clear vinyl on the top. Then it's time to put the hoop back on the machine. Now it's time to add our final decorative stitch and a little hole right here for the hardware, the ribbon, whatever you want to put into it. So I'm going to go back up to Create, and then I can go up here and say Create and begin a new design. And there should be a 5 down here, yes. So let's go ahead and select this last stitch because the satin border is going to be the same size. It's going to go along the same path. And so we're going to copy and paste it. This time, let me show you. You can copy and paste by going to Edit, Copy, Edit, Paste. And now we have this last outside stitch that's going to be our satin border. Now it is the same color as this. I want to fix that, so I'm going to go to Color, click on it, and I'm going to go over here to Dolphin. That looks like a cute color. Now we need to put different stitches on this. Remember, this is a single run stitch right now. We want a satin border stitch. To do that, your satin border stitch is here. We'll click on it, and it changes that single run stitch to a satin border. Now I don't think that's quite thick enough because we have just cut away our excess faux leather on the bottom, the top, and the clear vinyl on the top. And you want a satin border stitch that's wide enough to cover the excess that's still sticking outside that run stitch. So let's go over here and let's bump that width up to a 4. And that looks good. The very last stitch that I need to add is a circle right up here that my ribbon or my hardware will go through. I am still on the satin border stitch. So the fast way to do this is just copy that again and make it smaller. Otherwise, you can go up here and start with a new circle. But I'm going to go ahead and hit Command C for copy, Command V for paste. It's this second one down here. Whoops. So let's go ahead and change that a different color before I forget. I'll say OK. And then I can just drag it right here until it's about a 1/2 inch. Now if I click off of it, notice how wide that stitch is because we're still using the width that we had on this satin border stitch because all we did was copy and paste it. So let's go ahead and select it. And then on this one, let's change the width to, let's go 2.5. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, I think that looks fine. So I'm going to select it. And I'll start by saying Utility and Center in Hoop so that it's perfectly in the center. Now I can just drag it up using the arrows on my keyboard. Now where you put this little circle is just personal preference. So if you want to, you can have it cover over part of those chain stitches. The chain stitches aren't real thick. That would be fine. Let's move it up. You would not want to do this because then you are going to be cutting through those chain stitches. You can have it totally off the chain stitches, but I think a good look is to have it overlap those chain stitches a little bit. I still see a chain stitch, so let's just move it down one click of the down arrow. And that looks good. We're going to watch this stitch out one more time, then the last step is just save it, move it to your machine, and begin stitching. So we have our placement stitch for our faux leather, our tack down stitch for the faux leather. We have our cute inside. Then we take it off the machine, put our faux leather on the back, put the glitter and clear vinyl on the front, stitch that down. Then you're going to take it off the machine again. You're going to cut away, just like in applique, you're going to cut away the excess faux leather on the bottom, the excess faux leather on the top, and that excess clear vinyl. It goes back on the machine, and then you're doing the final 2 stitches. This beautiful wide satin stitch, and then the little hole at the top for your hardware or your ribbon. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope the video's been helpful. If you have any questions, comments, or even suggestions for me, leave them in the comment section below. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and also hopefully I'll see you in the next video.